Hello and welcome back to Georgesgamingguide. Today I'm going to be doing the review of the new LEGO Star Wars set Chopper C1-10P. The set number for this set is 75416 and this is made out of 1039 pieces. Now this set does include one minifigure which to me, quite surprisingly, is not unique, which of course is Chopper. I'm sure many of you will recognise this set. If you don't, this is the main droid from the very popular TV series Star Wars Rebels. And the height of this set is 8.5 inches or 22 centimetres tall. So it is a very appealing looking set. It is sort of gone the same way as the R2-D2, which you can just see the legs of, they're up here. It's a set that's going to be appealing for people who are fans of Chopper himself, and then also just the fans of Star Wars, even if people aren't fans of Star Wars, just for displayability, because the droids that they make, the astromech droids that LEGO make, are really nice, I do have to admit. And I think that that's something that LEGO's really got going for them with this set, because they can appeal to a lot of people rather than quite a small audience. But if we have a look at the box, there's not a mad amount going on the front. It shows obviously the set itself with everything upright. And then there's just a picture for the minifigure on the bottom there. Now on the back, there's quite a few different things on here. So we get a better look at the plaque and the minifigure, and then if you can see at the top, there's a couple of pictures here just showing some of the different things that can move. So for example, a small latch which you can move on the back, which causes the head to go side to side, and then we have the fact that the wheel on the bottom of him can come out. And then also that the arm can move. And I think that they're just really nice details that have been added onto the set. Now one which I did forget there, I do apologise, is the moving head. So not only can it go side to side, it can spin as well. So I think that's a really nice addition that LEGO's made. And I can't wait to see how this set turns out. So without further ado, let's have a look at the finished model. So we are back, and this is the finished model, and overall I do think that it looks really nice. But before we have a look at the main model, let's have a look at the minifigure and plaque that's included. So if we have a look at the Chopper minifigure, or C1-10P if you prefer, it's obviously a smaller version of what you see in front of me. So he's got a piece for the dish, he's got what I'm going to call the 3 eyes, I'm just going to go with the eyes. He's got a load of controls on the front, and then on the back more controls and some more detailing on the back of the head. Now, it's a very standard plaque that you usually get with LEGO. You can see the size, the manufacturer, the product, things like that. So, quite nice detail, and it's always nice to get them in these kinds of sets because they become more of a collector's item rather than just a kid's toy. So I think that really helps. But if we have a look at the main model, I think that this is a really, really nice set. I think LEGO's done a really good job with this. I like how it's similar yet not similar to the R2-D2, which you can see the bottom of there. And I just think it's really nice. So if we have a look at the details on it, there's actually a reasonable amount going on in this set, which for a set like this isn't always too easy, because you haven't got, it's a reasonably large model, but you haven't got a crazy amount of room to work with because of some of the internal bits and the moving bits, which I will show you. So on the front is where most of the action is. There's an arm at the front which can be moved, there's some stickers on the front to show patchwork and things like that, and then there's some bits, there's actually black hot dogs which you can see just over here, which have been used as wiring sort of thing. And I think that the way LEGO's used the parts in this is really good, and I think that it's actually quite a good idea. So if we have a look at the back, there's not a mad amount going on, but the reason for that is there is a little bit there. Now I'm just going to turn this around so you can see what the actual effect is, but if you move it up and down, it actually makes his head go side to side, which I do think is quite nice and a good little detail. For some of the other playability features, as you can see, the legs do move, so you can have them any angle you want. You do get this wheel which is at the front where you can just push it inwards, but the problem is if you push it inwards it won't stand, so it has to be out front. But it is a nice little detail to have, because obviously it makes it so that with the plaque, making it more of a collector's set. There is also some part of it that is a playability set, so obviously the younger fans, or even some of the older ones, can move it about and whatnot. And then probably the last two main playability features are the arms. So its arms can move, and you can put them at any angle you want. I've just chosen to put them sort of how they're like on the box. And then his head does, it does turn, it's not like a smooth turn, so it doesn't just turn freely. There are like cogs that is like it sits in a piece with like not a completely flat edge, so it does like just sort of tick round, I guess is the best way of saying it, which I think is actually better, because it's a lot easier to get it back to where it should be, because there's nothing worse than having that one bit of the set that's not straight and you can always see it as you go by, but you can never figure out how to sort it out. But I think it's actually really nice on this set. I think just having it so that it turns nice and easy like that is just really nice for the set, and I think it's a really nice feature they've added. And yeah, so overall I would really recommend the set. I think that the build was relatively easy. There were a couple of challenging bits, but the majority of it was very easy. I think it works great as a playability and a display set, which I think isn't overly easy to do. So I think that LEGO's done a really good job on that. And overall, it's just a really, really nice set. And yeah, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure that you like, subscribe, or comment your thoughts about it, and also make sure you watch out for the Sunny's video, which is going to be my review of the Death Trooper and Night Trooper battle pack.